Hello, Aries. Welcome to Taurus season. This is your Taurus season reading, and this is a reading for Aries. Aries sun, Aries rising, Aries moon. Everybody has Aries in their chart. So if you know where the sign Aries is, if you want to think about your first house or Mars placements, you can always listen to any horoscope if you know what you're listening to. When in doubt, listen for your rising or for your sun signs. Remember, this is a general reading, so take what works and leave the rest. Taurus season begins on April 19th, and this is an exciting feeling season, I think, for you, Aries, in large part because your ruling planet Mars has finally left the water sign Cancer and moved into your fellow fire sign Leo just a couple of days before Taurus season begins. Now, Mars has been retrograde since December of last year, and Mars only goes retrograde every 2.5 years or so. And when Mars is retrograde, it lasts a long time. It's several months, and especially for you as a Mars-ruled sign, these are periods of time that can be I'm going to say highly supportive because they are ultimately about resourcing and reworking the ways that you use your energy. But in that, they can be really frustrating periods of time as well. So these can be big slowdown periods. They can feel like you are actually totally stalled or stagnant. Energy can be really low. Personal energy can definitely fluctuate. And over the course of the last several months with Mars retrograding from Leo back to Cancer, for the Aries solar charts, this feels like a time when a lot of you have needed to kind of bring your energy in a lot of ways. You may have been excited as we moved into kind of the end of last year. If you think back to November of 2024, there may have been some feelings for you that felt a little more creative, potentially romantic, more expansive, self-expressive, that then needed to kind of slow down. And some of what you were working on or hopeful for or excited about may have actually needed to totally be released in this period of time. There may have been big shifts in your own energy or collaborators or romantic partners, or for some of you, if you're parents with your kids, there has been a lot of need to focus in on your foundation, your stability, and your family. This has been a period of time, I think, when a lot of you have also been needing to do some important internal work. And so when it comes to stability and foundation and family, here I'm also talking about your inner emotional landscape. So I'm talking about the ways that you anchor and find your own sense of stability and center. I'm talking about the foundation that you have with yourself, your capacity to regulate. I'm also talking about your inner parts, your inner family dynamics, and healing that may have been happening for you when it comes to the ways that you, have a million inner children living in you, as do we all, and many experiences in your life that probably still need support to integrate, which is totally normal. And we are living through a time that, for so many reasons, is activating and destabilizing and could feel like there's a lot of precarity and unknown. And during this time, I think many Aries have really needed to tune in with their own center, with their own sense of spiritual support, and their own kind of emotional anchor. If you have been doing that work and this sounds resonant for you, then this is your reading. Okay, so please, if my readings resonate for you, do remember to subscribe, to like, to comment. Please share them with a friend. Maybe you've got another Aries out there in your life that you want to share this one with. It does help me and help me continue to do this work. And so if this energy does or what I said does resonate for you, then I hope it also resonates when I say that as we move into Taurus season, You're getting your groove back, Aries. It feels like some heat is starting to build for you. Now, this heat is generative. This is dynamic, creative energy. Creation energy is flirtation energy. The universe is a highly erotic kind of place. When you get into cosmology, as you know, I love all cosmologies, and the roots of astrology, of course, are in really deep ancient stories about how did the universe get born. And the primordial energy of creation is Eros. It is feeling attracted to something. It's a little spark. It's what kind of glimmers in your eyes and makes you feel turned on. And this season, as we move into Taurus season, I think a lot of you are kind of like feeling flirtatious, or there's a sense of you're excited about something and you want to move in that direction. And what you are excited about has some growth potential to it. Now, I want to say that what I'm feeling for a lot of you is really deeply within your own energy. And so there might, and I hope if you want it, that there are people that you can feel romantic and playful and flirtatious with. But I think a lot of you are also feeling this with yourself. So there's some kind of feeling of excitement around your own capacity or skill or your clarity and motivation. Oftentimes, like honestly, anger can be a very clarifying force. And when we're working with Mars, especially working with Mars in a fire sign, anger can be really present. And anger is a useful energy. It lets us know what we care about, and it lets us know when what we care about is threatened. Um, Ultimately, we don't want to be motivated into action, right, by anger. We want to be motivated by love. And I think a lot of times this is what anger does for us, is it helps us really know what we love and what we care about and what we feel passionate about. In the first 10 days or so of Taurus season, so from April 19th, I'm going to say until the end of April, there are definitely some feelings for me of like breakup energy that's coming in. Now, this could be actual breakups, and we can break up with people, we can break up with ideas, we can break up with the big banks, so we can divest, and then reinvest in our local community credit unions or something like that. But there is a feeling for me of a lot of you basically saying to yourself, I'm not going to put energy in X, Y, or Z anymore. That's not serving me. That's not the direction that I'm going. This is not what I care about. And so I am going to turn a different direction. And in this first 10, 11 days of Taurus season, some of you may be pissed off. So there may be a feeling of being angry. Some of you may feel very impassioned, very activated, and love and belief and strong high levels of motivation could be present as well. It feels like there is a lot of force that is moving through you at this time, and this force is connected with clarity around how you want and need to be working with your own energy. Now, in a lot of ways, we don't get to choose because we live in a world where we are energetically affected constantly. We breathe air, we drink water, we eat food, and all of that, everything that makes our bodies, comes from everything and everywhere. And so, in the ways that we cannot always choose how we are affected, I think a lot of you are wanting to take agency where you can, and also getting clear on what you care about and motivating yourself to take action and align with your own agency, whether or not you feel like you can control whatever it is that you want to change. So, for example, if the groundwater is polluted where I am because corporations are dumping chemicals into it, as an individual, I cannot stop them. Just me, not going to do anything. But As an individual, I do have some agency. I have agency through my money, where I'm putting my economic investment. I have agency in the ways that I'm using my voice and sharing information. I have agency in the ways that I connect with other people who care about similar issues. And I can lend my support to a cause to take action for something that I am passionate about. This is the kind of feeling that I think is coming up for some Aries out there. It's the feeling of wanting to get involved in the ways that you can. Now, there are other dynamics where you actually can do a lot. And these dynamics, I think, are largely personal and interpersonal. So there may be ways that you feel affected, let's say, by whatever is affecting you. We're just going to say it's the news or it's the day or it's being alive. But you also notice that if you start your day with some movement and meditation, and if you really focus and concentrate your mind on gratitude and prayer, that helps you deal with the energy of your life. It helps you sustain yourself through your day. And that is a place where you can have clarity, where you can have increased discernment, where you can have appropriate boundaries and take back some of your energy that maybe has been, being pulled out of you by forces and, frequencies that are around you that you can't control. Inside of interpersonal dynamics, there are ways that you definitely can have some agency. You can choose who you spend your time with. To a large extent, you can choose how you spend time together. If you don't want to talk about certain things, or if you do want to talk about certain things, you can make your desires known. You can ask for what you want and need. You can also lead by example. And these kinds of choices are asking you to make them in Taurus season. How are you using your time, your energy, your resources? You want to put your attention towards what you want to grow. You want to invest in what you want to see succeed, in what you want to cultivate. If you are putting energy, whether it's passively or actively, into what you don't want, Aries, why? Why are you doing that? Taurus season is asking you to be decisive. It's asking you to make some moves and align yourself intentionally with the directions of what you want. Now, last month in the Aries season horoscopes, I gave you a little bit of guided somatic awareness and asked you to tune in with your own sign's rulership, with Aries rulership around your eyes and your forehead. I talked about how Aries, when its energy gets imbalanced, often manifests as tightness in the eyes or squinching up in your brow or overactivity in the front part of your brain where you get really into your me, myself, and I ego stories. Now, Taurus continues bodily rulership down into the lower part of the face, and Taurus specifically governs the lower jaw and teeth, the tongue, the throat, the neck, the lower part of the skull, where your more reptilian brain is, and your upper shoulders, including the base of your throat, where your parathyroids and thyroid gland are. When you're working with Taurus energy for Aries, you are working with the energy of sustenance. Aries is an energy about existence, but Taurus is an energy of sustenance. We exist, and then we have to keep existing. What do we need to keep existing? We need food. We need basic resources. We need access to what will allow our bodies to continue to be here. And that means that we need some amount of equilibrium and balance and ease and pleasure. And we need to be able to get what we need and what we want. Over the course of Taurus season, I want to invite you to continue to work with your Aries season meditation. If you didn't listen to your horoscope last season, check it out. And now incorporate some Taurian awareness. When your jaw gets clenched and your eyes get tight, Aries, those are clues for you that you are expending energy in ways that you don't need to. When your brain gets really active with me, myself, and I stories, and your world gets closed into what you can immediately see in front of you, and your tongue and jaw get really tight because you're so focused. This is very classic for a lot of people, and especially, with Aries energy, their heads, get forward of their spines, this headstrongness that Aries can have. If your head is leading you through the world, Aries, how are you going to tune in with the wisdom of your body? Take a deep breath, relax your belly, relax your jaw, relax your eyeballs, relax your brain. Take a look around you and notice how much supports you every single moment of every single day. The air that you breathe is breath created by multitudes of life forms. The water that you drink is water that has circulated through all of its different forms, through countless bodies and landscapes. The food that you eat comes from somewhere, comes from the earth, from the soil. There are many people and living beings that have made it possible for you to have some nourishment. Aries, if you want to sustain what you are working on right now, and if you feel excited about it, or if you want something to grow, focus on what's good about it. Appreciate beauty when and where you see it. Allow yourself to actually resonate. That means feel it in your body with gratitude. There are so many reasons to feel like you want something else. If you're always focused on what you don't have, you won't appreciate what is here, and you are going to miss some important opportunities. It is not always easy for Aries to slow down, and especially as these retrogrades get out of their shadows, a lot of you really want to move fast. You are excited, you are ambitious, you are motivated, you are inspired. That's all beautiful energy. If you notice that your face is tight and your jaw is clenched and you're up here in the front part of your brain and not feeling your body, and you haven't yet appreciated anything that's around you and beautiful, then I'm going to say it's a red flag, Aries, slow down. Part of the revolution that is happening right now as we are living through it is that people are willing to slow down enough to feel things. They are willing to slow down enough to disrupt the mechanisms of capitalism. They are willing to slow down enough to feel their bodily intelligence and remember that they can't eat money. Slow down, Aries. There's a lot that's here for you. The first 11 days or so of Taurus season, you want to remember to slow down. There's big breakup energy. Don't move hastily. If you feel tight in your face, it's a red flag. As we move into the month of May, Venus moves back into your sign. Mercury is in your sign. It's out of its retrograde shadow. Mars is in Leo and it is leaving its retrograde shadow. And there is so much heat. There is so much passion. Now, this is a very dynamic time in collective astrology. I'm going to say that the next year, 12 to 14 months, 2025 to 2026, is a pivotal time on planet Earth. We are moving through a passage. There's a lot of transformation that's happening on collective levels, and we are all part of it. So as we start to move faster with all of this fire energy, post-retrograde energy, and moving towards the full moon on May 12th, which is another Mars-ruled full moon in the sign of Scorpio, many of you are really focused. Now, whether you are focused on what you don't want or what you do want, the same suggestion applies. So we can be moving away from something that we don't want and towards something that we do want. We can be moving towards something that we do want and away from what we don't want. Every time we withdraw from something, we are moving towards something else. If you know that you don't agree with something or you don't want something anymore, or it's time to let go of a particular relationship or project or way of being with yourself, know what you are moving towards and what you are calling in. Find reasons to be appreciative of what's around you and see where what you are trying to realize in your life is already here in some way. What you focus on will grow. So let's say some of you want new friends, because some of you do. Some of you are like looking for the right collaborations and networks to connect with. If you're aware that you don't want certain kinds of relationships, be clear about what you don't want. Let that help you clarify what you do want, and then see where what you do want is already happening. It might just happen for a moment here or there in certain relationships. It might only be in your imagination. Maybe you listen to a podcast and people are talking about it. It doesn't have to be everywhere. It doesn't have to be global, but there are small glimmers of it already happening. Allow yourself to appreciate them, get excited about them, and actually feel them. When you get ahead of yourself, when you get into your ego space, when your jaw is clenched, when you're so focused on what you want or what you don't want that you're failing to see the world outside of you, you're missing the opportunities. There are lots of opportunities that are coming into your life. And as we move into the middle part of 2025, these opportunity doorways are opening big time, especially coming into Gemini season, coming after Taurus season. Lots of opportunities opening for you. How do these opportunities open for you? Because you notice them, Aries. How do you get to have these opportunities? You notice them, you appreciate them, you celebrate them. Somebody might be trying to wave you down and they're like, hey, I could be your new best friend. They're totally the type of person you want to be friends with. But if you're so focused in your ego about what you don't have and what you wish you had, and gosh, that person, just really isn't what you want or something like that, you're not even seeing that someone else is there. So slow down. And this is it's like you have to practice this, especially as we move into the month of May. You have to practice moving slowly. And to move slowly is to move at the pace of relationship. Okay. So you're not rushing ahead of what is ready. You are taking your time to be as present as possible with it. As we move towards the end of Taurus season and into Gemini season, many of you are having some big aha moments. And these aha moments have to do with what you value and what you have to give that is, I'm going to say, inherently and immensely valuable. Over the last 7 years or so, you could think back to 2018, a lot of you have been experiencing some kind of destabilization in these realms of, I'm going to say, value and self-worth. And in a more basic way, we could say finances. We could say access to material resources and needs. A lot of you have been experiencing some kind of chaotic destabilization. Some of you have been trying to get your needs met in really new and different ways. Some of you have been really awakening or opening in your consciousness to what you value in new and different ways. It's been 7 years, so you probably experienced all of these things. As we move towards the end of Taurus season and into Gemini season, there is something shifting for you. And I feel like a lot of you might have some new opportunities to get your needs met. I don't know what this means for you. This could be physical, material, emotional, psychological, energetic. These could be ways that you're meeting your own needs. This could be how you're making money. But there are some new opportunities that are opening for you that require you to take a little bit of a risk and do something that is different. If any of you have opportunities to do something that is different, to innovate, to invent, to rebel a little bit, to be a little bit like weird or strange in the ways that you are valuing yourself, right? You can value yourself for being kind of a weirdo oddball. We need oddballs in the world. We need people who don't fit in boxes. This is a time to let that freak flag fly. Trust that other people are going to see it and love it. If there are ways that you can think or that you are thinking about making money in different ways or working with resources in innovative and new and different ways, this is a really powerful time for you to move in those new directions. I'll repeat for one final time to slow down, to breathe, to relax your brain, and try to trust your body as much as possible. Now, our bodies communicate with us in very simple, basic ways. Our brains are really loud and they often want to take over the communications. Sometimes we feel things in our bodies and then our brains take over trying to interpret what our bodies are feeling. And so I do want to recommend to you that over the course of the rest of your life, and definitely in Taurus season, that you practice somatic awareness and really trying to listen to your body. When you listen to your body's natural intelligence, first of all, it's a practice, and we have to get underneath the layers of mental conditioning. You really get to very clear intrinsic wisdom. Our bodies are interconnected and interdependent with the environment and with each other. And bodily intelligence continues to lead us to creation. It doesn't separate us from it. That doesn't mean that sometimes our bodies won't tell us, hey, you're really enmeshed over there, or you're entangled in ways that you don't need to be entangled. Sometimes our bodies tell us we need more space, or we need some freedom, we need some differentiation. But when we get those messages, that leads us more to creative energy. It frees something up in us. We feel ourselves more deeply part of creation. This is what you want to be feeling right now, and this is what you want to practice listening for. Okay, Aries. So if you want some support in listening to your body, join me in Somatic Space. This is a weekly class I teach on Mondays on Zoom from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Pacific. You can always catch the recording if you can't attend live. Literally every single week, we start off the week by listening to our bodies. We do all kinds of different somatic practices to help us align with the astrology of the week ahead. It definitely is supportive for oddballs, being a little bit weird. We move in ways that are totally organic and authentic, and we try different kinds of things. So that would be a great place to experiment if you want to check it out. You can also get support at Embodied Astrology in our communal spaces. We have study groups. We have all kinds of events happening all the time. And we have a really exciting event coming up on April 27th with CARE, who is an abolitionist, organizer, somatic therapist, and someone who's really working with the erotics of liberation. They're going to be joining us to kind of dive into the places where astrology intersects with relationships, with accountability, with breakups, with makeups, and with really cultivating sovereignty in our own energy. And Aries, I feel like this would be a very powerful place for you to connect. You can find more information about everything Embodied Astrology offers and is in the show notes below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share a horoscope with a friend if you think they'd like it. Aries, I'm wishing you all the best in Taurus season and beyond. Bye for now.